I wanted. It's good to see you again. I'm glad you're all doing well. Last week we talked about Six Flags. A couple of weeks ago, and I was looking at your work this week, and I just want to compliment you on how well you understood some of the problems Six Flags is going through. What most of you really seem to grasp, and Six Flags doesn't seem to grasp, is that although their target market, primarily young families and teens, has changed dramatically, Six Flags really hasn't. They don't seem to understand today's youth or what they want, nor do they seem to understand the concept that the economy is hurting everybody, especially their primary target market. Several of you had fabulous ideas for helping them, including things like lower the price or give free parking or something that would help more families come in and enjoy the park. Six Flags does not seem to understand the concept of less is more, and if they would give up some of their skimming the cream off of the top in terms of extensive parking and charging for food, they might be able to actually attract more customers and earn more money. This week, the next week, we were talking about global marketing, and I hope you enjoyed some of the things that we did with, especially McDonald's, and visiting with Gino on trying to get his business up and running in another country. He really has a very difficult chore facing him because right now he's doing very well in this country and his neighborhood, but if he tries to go over to another country and adapt his product, it may not go well at all. So I want to compliment you first of all and let you know how well you're doing and how impressed I am with your work. So this week we're going to take sort of a switch, and you're almost going to feel like you're back in psychology class, because this week we're going to be talking about the things that motivate consumers to buy and use products. We'll be looking at different needs that we have met and different ways we go about deciding. One of the ways is the amount of involvement that we have in making a purchase decision. You know yourself that you do not put as much time and energy in deciding what kind of soft drink you're going to buy as you might in deciding whether to buy a house or what kind of car you're going to get, or even the mate that you're going to marry. And those decisions that are going to have huge impact on our lives, both financially and emotionally, we tend to put a lot of time and effort into making those decisions. On smaller decisions where we don't have as much risk if we make the wrong choice, we really don't spend a lot of time. Marketers refer to those as ranging from low risk, very low involvement, to very extensive, routine, limited, and extensive decision making. We're also going to look at the various things that affect our decision making. We may like to think that we're making all of our choices by ourselves, but we really know that we are making them based on our gender, our personality, our likes and dislikes, our self-concept. Those are our individual factors that affect us. Also social factors and group. Do we have reference groups, people that we admire and would like to be like, or people that we don't admire and really don't want to be like? What about our family? If you grew up in a family like I did, where the entire family drove nothing but GM products, and I bought a Ford for my first car, it was really sort of daring because my family truly believed that Fords were a way superior product. Or if you did like in my family, had uncles and a father who fought in World War II, in which the Japanese were one of our primary enemies, you would not be impressed, nor would you approve of us beginning to buy foreign-made cars, especially Japanese. So now that I drive a Toyota product, it still creates a little bit of friction between me and my father because he does not believe that I made the right choice at all, putting money into the pockets of former enemies, even though the Toyota that I purchased was actually made in the United States by American workers. The other thing we're going to be looking at is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you are taking psychology, I'm sure you've studied this, or you will along. Dr. Maslow had a theory, and he created a pyramid that said that we all have needs based on a certain level, and there were 5 of them. The first being physiological, hunger and thirst, and sleep. things of those things that must be met before we can consider anything else. He next said that we needed to be concerned about safety and security, shelter, warmth, clothing. Next was social, friends, loved ones. The next was self-esteem, feeling good about ourselves. Finally, there was self-actualization. He said that we could not move up one level until we had satisfied the others. And you know yourself that you really cannot be concerned about whether you're making good grades or having a group of friends to hang with if you don't have some place to live, if you don't have food. You have to meet those very basic needs before you can begin to think about some other needs being met. So in our chit-chat, we're going to be going through a magazine. Waco Today is a magazine published by the Waco Tribune-Herald, and you can find it online, and you will connect to this month's issue that just came out about a week ago. In it, I want you to go through every magazine and find 5 ads to talk about that reflect some of the needs or motivations that we deal with in choosing. For instance, if or limited concept. There's an ad on page 62, I believe, about home, Kelly Realtor, and it's about a home, and it's a very small ad, but it has a wonderful picture and just a few words of copy that paint a good illustration of what we hope our home would be. It says, building homes, building memories, and it has a picture of a loving couple. We all aspire to have a home, and a home that is more than just a house, a home that creates happiness and warmth and builds a good foundation for our families. That illustrates a lot of things. It illustrates the need for a family. It illustrates a creation of self-esteem. It also illustrates a very extensive decision that we would have to make because it costs so much. A home is so much of our material possessions. It's one of the biggest purchases we ever have. So as we go through this unit, be thinking about some of the ways that you decide to buy something and what does it really say about you. Our job task in Creative Meeting is going to be working with Humane Society. Pets meet a need. Doctors tell us that actually people who have pets are healthier and live longer, that they help lower our blood pressure, that they do a lot of things for us. They're also a responsibility. They are expensive. So there are a lot of pluses. Recently, the Humane Society of Central Texas has come under a tremendous amount of fire for everything from accused mismanagement to just not caring for animals as they should. And part of the problem is budgetary. They simply have not got enough money to handle all the animals that come into the shelter every single week. And more keep coming in, especially in this economy, as people are having to move from homes into apartments that don't allow pets, or they just simply can't afford to feed animals anymore. So there is an awful lot of trouble and dissension going on, and a lot of people are torn in many directions about what they're going to do. So that would be our creative meeting. We're going to do it pro bono. In other words, we're doing it for free to help the Humane Society decide what they can do to make adopting animals more attractive and more affordable so they can get more out into the community and less keep fewer in shelters. So I want to congratulate you on your good work. And I hope that you will continue to do well. I'm working with the IT people to solve a technical problem on your grade book because it is giving you really funny grades. So I hope to get this resolved within the next couple of weeks. So right now, just keep doing well, and I will see you next week. Bye.